On this episode, it's March Madness, and we're having a bracket challenge showdown between rides and attractions at Walt Disney World to see who becomes champion. Today is March 24th, 2023, and this is episode 550 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I'm your host, Jeremy Stein, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey, guys.
Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic. If you've not done so already, head out to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join. Then if you hit that subscribe button, you're going to get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. Then if you're getting ready to plan that trip to Disneyland or Walt Disney World, you did not get the dining that you were hoping for, do not worry, because Mouse Dining is going to remove the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time. I can tell you that this works because as you're listening to this in the morning, we are headed down to Disney World to dine at Roundup Rodeo on its second day of opening. That is all thanks to Mouse Dining for getting us those alerts.
Woohoo.
So you can visit msmfriends.com to use this free service. So it's March Madness time.
Yep.
We are in the midst of it. There are more games on tonight as we record on Thursday.
Isn't everybody's bracket busted?
Everybody's bracket is busted. I tell you, after Purdue lost, I don't know if that's the quickest that there's never been a perfect bracket. Like usually there's some major upsets and there's still at least somebody with a perfect bracket. And I think that's the one that truly destroyed everyone. Mine is busted. Of course, I pick Duke to win it all every year. It's worked out for me 5 times. So I still like my odds.
Knowing that Duke, even though, why can't you pick somebody else? Why can't you know that they are not as good this year?
They were, and to be 100% honest, they were the hottest team in the country, and they could have won it all this year. I mean, it was a possibility. You had a lot of people picking them after they went on just a incredible streak, and then they could not show the intensity that Tennessee showed. There's next year. Proud of them. Coach John Shire did a wonderful job in his first season. But anyway, we are in the midst of March Madness.
Yeah.
We had a couple bracket challenges leading up to this with our actors, our voice actors. And we wanted to basically update our ride challenge because we did this 2 years ago, March of 2021. I believe that time our winner was Haunted Mansion.
Probably. Sounds about right.
But since then, we have Cosmic Rewind. We have Tron. We've got the new Goliaths coming into this bracket challenge. So this is going to be super interesting to see how it turns out.
Okay.
So Rhonda has been crazy busy at work. So I enlisted the help of 2 professionals to help come up with the seating and lay out this complete bracket.
Is this why I had so many texts?
This is why you had so many. But a big shout out to Chuck and Amy.
Yeah.
They helped a lot on this. So we so here's how it's going to work out is we're going to have the left side of the bracket is going to be the Kingdom side, which is going to pit the first opened Magic Kingdom versus the last open parked Animal Kingdom overall, right?
Okay.
On the right side, we have the Intergalactic, which will be Epcot versus DHS. So each quarter bracket, though, will be one specific park. So all the Magic Kingdom rides are going to go against each other. All of the Epcot, all of the DHS, all of Animal Kingdom. We're going to bring that down to one winner out of each of those regions, which will then pair off to get us to our championship game, and one ride or attraction will reign supreme.
Okay.
As we go through these, we'll just say that especially when it gets to something like Animal Kingdom, we really do have to get a little inventive and include some additional, quote unquote attractions.
Okay.
There are shows involved. There are some things that are obviously missing. We really wanted to look at what did we think were the top 16 at each park. The one thing that we nixed completely was any sort of meet and greet. So you will not see any of those on here. But pretty much everything else is fair game, from true rides to shows to attractions to, I don't know, maybe a path that you walk and see animals might show up on here. It's tough to do Animal Kingdom, I'll tell you that much. So before we start to get into all of this and explain, kind of why we think a ride wins or not and what makes a great team, our 4 number 1 seeds in the Magic Kingdom region are Tron. In the Epcot region is Cosmic Rewind. Hollywood Studios, Rise of Resistance, and then in the Animal Kingdom region will be Flight of Passage. Now, we're each going to make our pick, and clear cut, if we both pick the same ride, that moves on. If we have differing opinions, we do not have a third party for today. We will next Friday when we do a Bars and Lounge challenge. We have a very special guest who's going to be joining us.
We do?
To make that third tiebreaker.
Who's that?
Well, it'll be a surprise, won't it? To you as well, apparently. If we have a differing opinion and we need the tiebreaker, the first thing we will do is we get a moment to try and sway the other person. So if we cannot agree on one clear-cut winner for that challenge, I do have a physical coin, a beautiful new quarter. I'll try not to drop on the floor or under anything like I've done in the past, and we will just simply flip.
Okay.
But I'm interested to see how this goes. I think a lot of our picks will probably be pretty similar. So are you ready to get started in our Magic Kingdom region?
Yes.
All right. First up is the number 1 seed, Tron, versus number 16 seed, Country Bear Jamboree. It's a pretty easy one to move on with, I'd say, with Tron, the newest ride. And we'll have some discussion as we get into these. I mean, that's a clear cut. I don't think anybody's going to pick Country Bear over Tron, except maybe for our friend Adam Elmers. He might, but I don't think even he would. All right, next up, number 8, Peter Pan's Flight versus number 9, Small World.
Peter Pan.
I would agree with you on Peter Pan. All right.
I like Small World.
I do too.
Peter Pan
I don't hate Small World.
Funner?
Yeah.
Is that a word?
More fun.
Okay.
I believe is the proper grammar.
It's funner.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I get love and nostalgia that people have for Small World. I always do. Yeah. We don't really ride it. There's not a reason for us to ride it unless we're with somebody visiting that wants to ride it, which would usually be my mom. And then we will. But I think, again, with what Fantasyland has, you know, kind of evolved into, especially with New Fantasyland and all of that, Small World should be swapped out for a Princess Prince style ride or something, which we've talked about.
Yeah.
Again, Tangled. Bring Tangled.
Okay.
Towers are right there. The bathroom's right there.
Mad at us.
And then we just need the Snuggly Duckling. If you go back to that theme park shuffle episode, I designed a Snuggly Duckling that was pretty good. So we are moving on with Peter Pan. Next up, number 5, Pirates versus number 12, Rhonda's Nap Station, the Carousel of Progress.
I'm going to say Pirates.
I mean, I am too. As much as I love Carousel of Progress.
I love Carousel of Progress. I love everything. Like, I love taking the naps. It's nice and cool. But I also love...
Your favorite part about an attraction is sleeping.
No, but I mean, I also love... I've been awake through it too.
Yes, you have.
So I love the whole thing.
I
But
do too.
Pirates to me is more fun. And I feel like when they keep refurbing it, there's a chance of getting wet in Pirates.
Yeah, that drop in the beginning now, you do get splashed a bit more. And
actually,
the cannonballs is where they really get you.
Really where...
Yeah.
Careful, you might be getting really wet on that ride.
I will say, when you look, this Magic Kingdom was really hard to seed because you have things like Pirates. I mean, Pirates at a 5 seed is a little bit crazy, but there's so many other wonderful classic rides that you kind of understand that it gets pushed back a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, next up is number 4, Haunted Mansion versus number 13, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin.
Haunted Mansion.
I think everyone knows my answer to this one. That's another one. Just, you know, seeing Tron now, especially at night, is like, here's the future of what Tomorrowland could be.
Should be.
Yes. Why do we still have the Speedway? Why do we still have Space Ranger Spin? You know, we've got the empty shell of Stitch's Great Escape. It's just like, I hope that this is the platform and finally sets the stage for them to completely revamp Tomorrowland and fit to what Tron is, because it's like an outlier right now. It's so much better than everything else in there.
We should put Tron on tonight.
I've never seen it.
I know.
Okay, we'll put it on. Like 80, those in the 80s, man.
I know, and that's what's crazy because it's old.
I know.
But yet, like, it's good and it seems futuristic and new.
I think I said this when we did our ranking roller coasters and we were talking about our Tron preview, is, to me, much like Flight of Passage, I think they do such a great job throughout the attraction, throughout the queue, a little bit of pre-show type stuff where you don't have to have seen Tron, you don't have to know what Tron is to be blown away by this ride. Same thing they did with Flight of Passage.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I really like that about it. All right, next up is number 6, Jungle Cruise versus number 11, Enchanted Tiki Room. I mean, I know there's a lot of diehard Tiki Room fans out there, but I can't imagine anyone's going to pick it over Jungle Cruise. You're
Yeah.
certainly not. You're giving me a weird look.
What if I did?
You would just be lying to be difficult at this point, I think.
No,
You're not picking Tiki Room over
necessarily.
Jungle
I used to
Cruise.
love Tiki Room when I was
Okay.
a lot younger.
That's fine. But now you're a 43-year-old woman, and Jungle Cruise is the obvious selection.
All right, fine.
Okay. All right. Number 3, Big Thunder Mountain versus number 14, Dumbo.
Big Thunder.
Yeah. I mean, that's another no-brainer there. All right. We got number 7. Speaking of Tomorrowland, number 7, Space Mountain versus number 10, People Mover. What are you picking?
I'm gonna pick People Mover.
I'm going to select our first upset and say People Mover.
I just said People Mover.
Right. That's why I said select our first upset, because I'm agreeing with you. So that's a number 10 over a 7. So yes, I'm agreeing with
I'm
you.
like,
And that's the first upset.
oh, I'm like, what? Just because Space Mountain, it's. I'm always afraid Jeremy's gonna be decapitated. And I'm also just the way it jerks and takes you. I don't love that ride anymore. The older that I am.
Yeah,
that's
I
all.
agree. And now with you've got Big Thunder Mountain, you've got Tron, you have Seven Dwarves as a roller. Like you have enough at Magic Kingdom that I'm not saying you don't need Space Mountain. I'm just saying it's nice to find something that you can sit on and relax.
I agree.
And as relaxing as Pirates and Jungle Cruise are, you got to pay attention. You know what I mean? Like People Mover, you can truly put your feet up and relax and still be
but
on
you can pay
a ride.
attention too.
Well, I mean, you do, but not in the same vein that you do any other attraction. So People Mover moving on. Next up is our number 2 Seven Dwarfs Mine Train versus number 15 Mad Tea Party. I will say we had a very lengthy discussion about Seven Dwarfs Mine Train being at number 2. All three of us, Chuck, Amy, and myself, feel that it is overrated, that Big Thunder Mountain should have been a number 2 seed. But when you consider the fact that it still warrants very long standbys and it is still holding on to a paid individual lightning lane,
oh, wow.
It makes sense that it goes at number 2. And I was saying to them, we were kind of discussing it, and I was like, well, it's like when they pick the seeding for the actual men's and women's NCAA tournaments, a lot of times they have to look at what's on paper. They have to say this team had X number of wins versus losses. They had X number of conference wins versus losses. They had X number of wins versus power conferences versus this, that. Even though a team that gets seeded higher or lower, however you look at it, is actually the better team, that's the pick they have to make because on paper it makes sense.
Right.
So this was an on paper number 2.
Okay.
But Seven Dwarfs Mine Train moves on. All right, we're going to move over to our Epcot region in the first round. All right, we have number 1, Cosmic Rewind versus number 16, Awesome Planet. So I'll go ahead and write in Cosmic Rewind.
I'm like, Awesome Planet, isn't that
That's the show over in the Land Pavilion, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it's Awesome Planet is what it is. It just wants to make you feel bad about being a human being, basically, and it's Cosmic Rewind, so that's an easy one. All right, moving on, number 8, The Seas with Nemo versus number 9, Grand Fiesta Tour.
Seas with Nemo.
Seas with Nemo.
Yes.
That's the clear-cut winner. As much as I love Grand Fiesta Tour, I really, really do. Seas is definitely the one that should move on. It is the better of attractions.
Yeah.
All right, number 5, Test Track versus number 12, Rhonda Has Never Seen American Adventure. So I can assume you're picking Test Track.
Yeah, but I don't think that's as fair, and I'll say it like because there are shows. That sucks.
Yeah, I know.
Because I'm going to pick a ride over a show anytime unless I'm like, I am extremely tired and I need a nap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the one thing you could look at, though, is you could look at...
Or I'm hot.
Well, if you really wanted to break it down and got super analytical, you could look at, comparing them as what is the longer attraction? What is the more technologically advanced attraction? What is the, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
American Adventure could technically win. I don't think it does. I'm kind of over Test Track, honestly. Like, I would be okay with that being changed to something else, or, whether it got an overlay, a refurb, or they tore it to the ground and built something new. Like, I wouldn't be offended. I do think American Adventure's highly underrated, though. And I'm getting you in there at some point to see it. We'll do something else first where you can nap so that you're wide awake by the time we get in there.
Okay.
So test track moves on. All right, next up is number 4, Frozen Ever After, one of our favorites, versus number 13, Journey into Imagination with the little purple guy, Figment.
Frozen.
Yeah, that's pretty easy, I think. Number 6, Spaceship Earth versus number 11, Turtle Talk. Turtle Talk is so much fun.
It is fun. I like Spaceship Earth though.
Yeah. It's classic. It's your icon.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's gotta move on there. All right, next up is number 3, Soarin' versus number 14, Beauty and the Beast sing-along, which I am not a fan of whatsoever. I know you really enjoyed it once you finally got to see it, but I can't imagine you're picking it over Soarin'.
Yeah,
right?
True.
I mean,
As much as I love it, but
you're talking ride versus show.
Right. I like the smells.
Yeah.
Soarin'.
Oh yeah. All right, number 7. I think this is going to be our Cinderella team, possibly. Living with the Land versus number 10, Mission Space. You can choose your side.
Living
Rhonda
with the
is choosing
Land.
neither side. I'll be honest. I never loved Mission Space, but if you go back to the previous version before the latest one,
With Gary Sinise.
yeah, but Gary Sinise aside, it was much, much better. Even the ride portion.
Okay.
I
don't know.
I still don't know that I would pick
I
it
don't
over
know if I
Living
wrote
with
it.
the Land. You actually went to space. This one,
Yeah,
you're
I remember
technically
you
in
told me
space,
that.
but you're just above, outside the atmosphere, just slingshotting past everything at like a supersonic speed. Well, they're just yelling out landmarks that you can barely see down on Earth. I just think it's awful now. It's absolutely awful. So that is easy for Living. Finally, number 2, Ratatouille versus number 16, the Disney Pixar Film Fest. Let's go to
Disney
answer first.
I'm just kidding. Ratatouille.
Yeah, Ratatouille. All right.
It's super cute.
Move down to our next regional here, and that is number 1, Rise of Resistance versus number 16, Vacation Fun, the Mickey animated short. So Rise of Resistance moves on. Number 8, Star Tours versus number 9. I'm very interested now because we're pitting ride versus show. Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular.
Oh, I'm going to say Indiana Jones.
All right, it's going to be our first disagreement. I love Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular. The only reason I'm picking Star Tours is because you can get a different ride every time for a huge combination.
And you really don't think you
different
can get a
scenarios.
really, like...
I mean, you can get different shows, with Indiana Jones, but for the most part, they're going to be the same. I'm looking at re-rideability, re-watchability. This is a really, really tough matchup, though, especially when you talk about two things that are polar opposites. What is your reasoning, I guess, to sway me towards Indiana Jones?
There's fire and guns and...
There's guns and Star Tours.
Yeah, but like live.
Well, they're not real guns.
They're shoguns or whatever they
Shoguns.
call them. Whatever, but still. And then fire and then like...
Isn't that the name of a
Bullet-
hibachi place? Shogun?
I don't know. But bullets and like...
Yeah. But
and then
you could ride.
some...
I literally one time rode Star Tours
Oh,
4
yeah, you
times in a row, back to back to back to back to back, and had 4 different ride experiences.
I don't love it because like, yes, I have to wear I can ride it usually once if I'm not having my patch on, but
Okay.
it's just...
You have a queue that is entertaining as well with Star Tours. If I'm not swaying you, we can flip the coin.
I don't think you're swaying me.
Here's another reason I really like the idea of
I'm
Star
so
Tours
glad
is that in the
Indiana's
second
back.
round, it would go up against Rise of Resistance, which is pretty cool to match 2 Star Wars attractions up against each other. So are we
It's not
flipping?
a way to sway me.
Okay, so we're flipping.
Yeah.
Because you're not swaying me. Heads or tails?
Tails.
Tails. All right. First one is tails. So stunt moves on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go down to number 5, Rock and Roller Coaster versus number 12, Beauty and the Beast live. Rockin' for sure. I would like to go back and see the Beauty and the Beast live show. It has been years.
Since
I think
Lacey
since
threw up.
Lacey threw up outside of it. Nothing
It's
to do with the
not
show,
funny,
everyone.
poor
Yeah,
thing.
nothing to do with the show. That was one of those, poor thing. There was a lot of times going through, I think I'm going to throw up, and never did. And then the one time we're like, no, you're not. You're fine. And then it was like, oh, God, it's happening.
Well, no, it was one of those things where she kept saying it, and then she's like, I don't feel good. And I'm like, I think, we told her she's fine. And then finally, my mother instinct was like, Jeremy, I think I'm going to take her to the bathroom.
We were sitting and waiting for the show to start, like sitting in the benches. And you're like, I'm going to get her out of here. And I'm like, okay.
And we went up the stairs, and right as we got to the top, she vomited everywhere.
Also, the reason we can never eat at Rainforest Cafe again, because that's where we had lunch. All right, number 4, Tower of Terror versus number 13, Alien Swirling Saucers.
Tower of Terror.
Yeah. This is gonna be I think Hollywood Studios is the most interesting bracket.
Okay.
There's a lot that could win out in here. All right, number 6, Toy Story Mania versus number 11, Muppet Vision 3D.
Toy Story Mania.
Agreed.
Mania.
All right, number 3, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway versus number 14. Did anyone know it was still open? Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy.
Aw, Minnie and Mickey.
I'm sorry, David. All right, he loves cars.
Oh.
Okay, number 7, Smuggler's Run. And I will say again, yes, Smuggler's Run is seated higher than a Star Tours and many other rides. Star Tours is better than Smuggler's Run.
Yeah.
Smuggler's Run has all the potential in the world.
Yeah.
On paper, is one of the best rides in Disney World. In execution, especially depending on who your pilots are,
oh God,
please give us new show scenes and new missions like Star Tours. Please, if you're listening, guys. All right, so verse number 10, Frozen Sing-Along. I'm going to pick Frozen Sing-Along.
Yeah, I think I would too.
I would rather repeat Frozen Sing-Along every single trip than Smuggler's Run. You're going to get different.
Yep.
You're going to get different hosts up there. So yeah, wow, Frozen is another upset. No major upsets yet. 10 over a 7 isn't crazy.
Okay.
Show over a ride is though. In the number 2, Slinky Dog Dash versus number 15. I'm sorry, the Disney Junior Play and Dance.
Yeah.
We have not seen it actually since
the kids were young.
because they changed it. They did make updates and changed it. But we are going to take Slinky Dog Dash. All right, our final regional bracket here in the first round takes us over to Animal Kingdom with number 1, Flight of Passage versus number 16, The Animation Experience. Just write FOP right there. Okay, number 8, It's Tough to Be a Bug versus number 9, the Finding Nemo, the new show, The Big Blue and Beyond.
I think Tough to Be a Bug.
I actually would say so as well.
Okay.
We do need to see the updated show. I know that there have been some changes.
Yeah.
It has been condensed, but we certainly had seen the previous version plenty of times, so we're going to go with tough. Next up is number 5, Festival of the Lion King versus number 12, Winged Encounters. Do you want to see someone breathe and throw fire, or do you want to potentially be pooped on by a bird? I vote fire. How about you,
Lion King?
Rhonda?
You're silly. What'd you call me?
I almost said Ryan for some reason. I don't know where that was coming from. All right, number 4, Navi River Journey versus number 13, the Wildlife Express Train, which takes you out over to Rafiki's Planet.
Navi.
Me too, but I would like, on the 25th anniversary, on Earth Day,
To ride that
on our
train?
wedding anniversary, I would like to head out to Rafiki's Planet and ride the train.
Okay.
It's been a long, long time for us. All right, number 6, Dinosaur versus number 11, the Jungle Trek.
Dinosaur.
Yeah, for sure. Number 3, Kilimanjaro Safari versus number 14, Conservation Station.
Kilimanjaro.
Yep. Number 7, Cali River Rapids versus number 10, Triceratop Spin.
No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I would understand. You never ride it, though, because you don't want to get wet usually.
Well, okay. It's usually y'all want to ride it in the wintertime.
Yeah, I know.
I'll ride it in the summertime.
My only fault with Cali is it's put in such a small footprint that it's just too short.
Yeah.
I would like another just major wow moment other than that one drop. Finally, we got number 2, Expedition Everest versus number 15, Gorilla Falls Trail.
Gorilla Falls.
All
just
right,
kidding.
Everest did it. Okay, we're going to move back to the second round. We are headed back to Magic Kingdom, and we are pitting up number 1, Tron versus number 8, Peter Pan's Flight.
Tron.
I would agree. Tron is going to be the interesting one just because of the fact it is real easy to be so hyped up and excited by what's flashy and new. It is super short.
We only rode it once.
Yeah, but I do think the payoff is well worth what it takes to go into it, and it being super short. As I said before, the only reason it's so short is because it's so good, you just want more.
Yes.
Like cake sometimes. All right.
Okay.
Number 5, Pirates. This isn't fair. And I blame myself and Chuck and Amy. Number 5, Pirates versus number 4, Haunted Mansion. I mean, you know my pick.
Haunted.
You're saying Haunted as well?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's yours?
Yeah, Haunted Mansion is my pick. I just, that's a tough matchup. This is a true 4-5 matchup, though, in college basketball and March Madness.
Yeah.
This is the type of game. This was Duke versus Tennessee. It feels like a Final Four game. That feels like a Final Four matchup. But I just love Haunted Mansion so very, very much. All right, number 6, Jungle Cruise versus number 3, Big Thunder Mountain.
Big Thunder.
You're picking Big Thunder.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Why would you not? It's a long ride.
I know. Big Thunder is super duper good.
And it's a roller coaster.
I'm aware. I've been on it.
Like,
but
it's not
Jungle Cruise,
when you go
I'm
on
a
Jungle
dad.
Cruise.
I love dad jokes.
I
I
know,
love
but when
puns.
you
Jungle
do that,
Cruise,
you feel like you have to laugh. Like sometimes I just
I don't
want to get
have
on
to
a
laugh.
ride.
I am laughing. You don't want to feel like you have to laugh.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Just trying to sway you.
I don't know. I don't know. And it's so hard because the other thing I mentioned, is we have Tron, we have Cosmic that are new in the last 2 years, but we also lost Splash Mountain. We'll redo this. Honestly, we'll redo this after Tiana's Bayou Adventure opens.
Yeah.
Because that'll bring that back into the mix.
I wonder if that would win the whole thing.
We'll have something like Moana's walk through water feature coming, things like that. You know what? I'll take it to the coin flip because you're going to win. You're going to win the coin flip. You're not swaying me. I love
don't know that I'm going to win it.
We've got a dark ride moving on in Haunted Mansion. We've got a roller coaster moving on in Tron. I'd like to see a boat ride move on with Jungle Cruise.
Heads this time.
You're calling heads this time? Oh, I didn't get to pick it. That is tails. Jungle Cruise moves on. You are welcome, everyone. You're welcome, Skipper Josh Gad. All right, number 10, People Mover versus number 2, Seven Dwarves Mine Train.
7.
I mean, Seven Dwarves is the better attraction. I don't think you can. I like People Mover more, honestly, because it is accessible and you can do it every time you go.
But Seven Dwarves is funner.
Seven is a better ride. All right. We're going to move back to Epcot in the second round, and we have number 1, Cosmic Rewind, who I think is the Goliath of this entire thing.
Yeah.
Verse number 8, The Seas with Nemo.
Seas.
Okay.
Just kidding.
I mean, it's Cosmic
I know.
Rewind.
Nah, it's fun.
It's the Guardians of the frickin' Galaxy. He didn't say frickin'. All right. Number 5, Test Track versus number 4, Frozen Ever After. After I just said they could bulldoze Test Track, I'm probably going with Frozen. Would you agree?
Yeah, I could agree.
I feel like that's your favorite ride. Is that not your favorite ride? Well, we're going to find out soon.
I love Epcot. I love that ride.
I really, really
I just wish, again, if anybody's listening, make it colder.
All I want is for them to blast cold air on you when it says the cold doesn't bother me anyway.
Here's one thing. It's you're in her ice castle.
Yeah. I don't know if I've mentioned.
At that part.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree completely. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I would like to do an episode where we each get to select like 10 attractions and we change one thing that we think would improve them, such as simply making Frozen Ever After colder or blast cold air on you at the part when she says the cold never bothered me anyway. So we go through attractions and find a minute detail that could actually make the attraction better. Okay. All right. So Frozen moved on. All right. Yep. Number 6, Spaceship Earth versus number 3, Soarin'. What are you picking there? I'm picking Soarin'.
Okay.
Soarin'? Okay.
I'll let you sway me.
It didn't take much.
Well, I mean, because I was thinking Spaceship Earth because Lacey loves it, and I just like when Rome's burning, and then I call him faceless newspaper boy.
Yep.
And I just love Spaceship Earth, but I don't know.
Here's what it comes down to me. All right, pretend that you're taking someone for their first time ever, and you walk in the park or times, whatever's happening, and for some reason, you have to pick doing either Soarin' or Spaceship Earth with the person that has never been to Disney or Epcot. Which one are you selecting? You're going to pick Soarin', right? It's got more of a wow factor for them. Mm-hmm. So that's the whole reason I select that. But I do love you, giant golf ball. All right, number 7, Living with the Land versus number 2, Ratatouille.
I'll say Ratatouille.
I will too. I love
Living with the Land, though.
Do you think, so we are doing April 23rd, day after our anniversary, we are doing Behind the Scenes, finally. After talking about it for years and years, I went ahead and that was like my anniversary gift to you. Is let me get you on that tour. Do you think that'll sway us if we came back to this pick? Like, do you think going behind the scenes of Living with the Land and all might change?
Maybe.
We'll see.
We'll see.
All right, we're going to move down to second round in Hollywood Studios. We're going to go with number 1, Rise of Resistance versus Rhonda's Heads versus Tails pick, which is number 9, Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular.
Indiana. Just kidding.
What's wrong with you today?
Just kidding.
I mean, Rise.
Yeah.
Man.
It's fun.
I love him. I love the Stunt Spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to catch it one time when Mark's there.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's Rise of Resistance. It is unbelievable. I mean, again, talk about something of going, hey, I've never been to Hollywood Studios. What should we ride? Be like, dude, you got to ride Rise of the Resistance. Unless you're Rob. Number 5, Rock and Roller Coaster versus number 4. These 5-4 matchups are a real kick in the gut. Number 4, Tower of Terror. You know my
Rockin'.
pick. It's Tower of Terror. Tower of Terror is I don't know how to sway you other than it's Tower of Terror.
Heads or tails?
You want to talk about?
You
no,
pick.
we're not going that quick. Hold on, man. I want to get a little something. The queue.
I like the queue. I don't. Yeah.
The thrill. The still getting butterflies in your stomach every time you go to ride it. The length of ride. Again, it changes each time. There's times that we've gotten off that ride and been like, wow, that sequence was unbelievable. Rockin' in theory of actual like ride time is shorter than Tron.
Yeah.
So have I swayed you at all? Why? What are your reasons for Rock and Roller Coaster? Try and sway me.
It's a roller coaster in the dark, and it's
Turk, settle down.
It starts out and it just 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, and it's amazing, and it's fun, and it's short, and you probably wish it'd be a little bit longer.
Okay, Tower of Terror pushes you faster than gravity, where you literally lift from your
Okay,
seat.
so I don't know if I ever told you, one time we got stuck on Tower of Terror, and all the lights came on, and the way we went out of it, I think it ruined it.
Well, one time I listened to Aerosmith, and I actually don't like them that much, so we're flipping a coin. Well, I'm calling it this time. You called it the last 2 times. All right, I'm calling heads. What is this a 2-sided or a 1-sided coin? Are they both tails? What is happening? Last time I let you pick the coin. Rock and Roller Coaster moves on. What state is this one from? I don't trust it at all. Which state is it on? This is something's up. You need your reading glasses, honey?
I can't
all right,
see it.
We're going to move on.
Hard to see.
I can barely read the type on this thing I printed out, so we need some help here. This is why we need like an in-studio producer so they can do things like read for us.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going on to number 6, Toy Story Mania versus number 3, Runaway Railway.
Toy Story Mania.
Wow, that's a really, really good one. I'll give you Toy Story Mania for rewritability in the gaming aspect.
Yeah, and it's fun. It's a game.
But as far as overall ride, system, just noticing new things every time, I got to go Mickey and Minnie on this one. I mean, every time you ride it, you can see something new. There's so much going on. I love Mania, and I love being able to play against people and the excitement at the end.
The last time you didn't beat me.
I did not beat you.
I beat you.
I gotta stick. All right, I don't know. Flip a coin. You might as well just call it because you're gonna get it. So
heads.
Almost dropped it, guys. I got it. Don't worry, everybody. I'm okay. Producer, where are you? I can't keep a track of this thing. Okay. All right, flipping. You said heads. What is it?
Really?
Fell on the ground. What is it at, Rhonda? I'm sure it's heads. So I'll just go ahead and move on.
I could flip it over, but it was tails.
It was tails. All right, so Runaway Railway moves on. All right, next up, we've got the number 10 Frozen Sing-Along, Little Underdog versus number 2 Slinky Dog Dash.
Why'd you say it like that?
Because I love Frozen Sing-Along. I do, but
okay, Slinky Dog
Dash is better. Slinky Dog Dash is the one. Again, if we want to do the test of somebody's there for the first time, you're going to take them to Slinky Dog Dash before you do Frozen. All right, second round over. With our Animal Kingdom region, we've got number 1 Flight of Passage versus number 8 It's Tough to Be a Bug. I just wrote Flight of Passage immediately. Do you agree? Right?
No, I love Tough. I'm just kidding.
I do too. But
I do love it.
I've said this before. My favorite part about It's Tough to Be a Bug is to watch people that have never been on it.
Yep. 100%.
All right. So number 5, Festival of the Lion King versus number 4, Navi River Journey. I'm going to go with Festival of the Lion King.
Yeah, so would I.
Okay. Oh, look at that. All right.
Why? Why'd you think I wouldn't?
Well, again, we're going ride versus show. You literally said, if it's a ride versus show, I'm picking ride.
But
and now
it's
we picked a couple
boat
of shows.
ride. I mean, you're pretty much watching a show anyways. You're just watching it on water.
That's fair. Drinking your milk. All right, number 6, Dinosaur.
Why would you be drinking milk one ride?
You're adorable when you say water. You say water and you say milk, like it's MELK.
I don't say milk.
Milk.
I don't say. Now you're making
we
me say
weird. We had to get
weird.
milk from Costco earlier today, and that's how you said it. And then I had to go into that thing. I don't understand how all the milk in that place isn't frozen solid. It is so cold in there.
And the eggs.
Yeah.
There were so many
I
eggs.
saw a penguin shopping. All right, number 6, Dinosaur versus number 3, Kilimanjaro Safari. That's an interesting one. Honestly, I think that's a tough pick. I'm a huge dinosaur fan.
I am a huge dinosaur fan.
And anytime you say that, anyone who's ever been to Disneyland will say Indiana Jones and act like dinosaur is absolute garbage, which I understand if it is compared to the Indiana Jones ride over there. But
right.
we have our dinosaur. It's what we know. It's what we love. But the safari is
That's what I'm
so
saying. I can be
good.
swayed either way, honestly.
And safari is the essence of Animal Kingdom to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick safari.
Okay,
we'll go
that's fine.
safari. All right. So did I sway you or you were good with that?
I could have gone either way.
Okay.
I could have picked either one.
All right, number 7, Cali River Rapids versus number 2, Expedition Everest. In fact, that's easy for me.
Everest.
You know Everest is.
I don't love Everest, but I'll say Everest.
All right, we are heading down to our Sweet 16. We're in the Magic Kingdom region, and we are going number 1 Tron versus number 4 Haunted Mansion. That's a really tough one. I mean, we've only done Tron once. Absolutely loved
fun.
it. We really did. It's Haunted Mansion.
It's long.
We go back.
It's cool.
Haunted Mansion won 2 years ago. I'm pretty positive of it. I know we didn't have Tron. We didn't have Cosmic. Haunted Mansion won our challenge for best song.
Mm-hmm.
It is your classic dark ride. It features everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to me, still, the Pepper's Ghost effect blows my absolute mind.
Yep.
Tron is a true copycat ride. I know we have several versions of Haunted Mansion, but they're not all the exact same.
Oh, really? Do you think if we had more footprint, they could have made Tron longer and bigger here?
I mean, they could have, but I don't see why they were going. Well, I'd like to say they wanted what was easy and just copycat a ride, but it also took like 4 decades. So
yeah. I mean, because why not? If the footprint it gives, I mean, why copy completely when you could add a little bit longer, and then
if they had
people
opened
would
it,
come.
If they had opened it,
if you build it
in a realistic,
they will come.
We know I haven't seen that. If they had built it in a realistic amount of time, then I could be like, all right, I get the copycat. But they took over 5 years. You could have reinvented the wheel a little bit. I'm going to pick Haunted Mansion. And after we ride a few more times, Tron, and next month, we can let you come back and know if that changes and if we're wrong. But Haunted Mansion with the first upset over a number 1 seed, the number 4 seed there. All
Tron
right,
loses.
We are going to number 6. There's people yelling right now. Number 6, Jungle Cruise versus number 2, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I'm going to pick Jungle Cruise.
Seven Dwarfs.
Why do you do this to me? Why?
Because it's super fun and it's cute and
It's short as all get out.
Hi-ho.
After you go through the mine and you do that incline, you're expecting for this big payoff, and it's done pretty much. There's almost nothing left to that ride after that. I actually think the payoff is before you hit the, like, the more exciting part of the ride is before you hit the cavern as opposed to after. So Jungle Cruise, again, can be different every time. It's dependent on your skipper.
Fine.
All right, Jungle. That's going to be an interesting matchup. Jungle versus Haunted Mansion. All right, Epcot, Sweet 16. Number 1, Cosmic Rewind versus number 4, Frozen Ever After. What are you picking?
Cosmic.
Okay. Oh, gosh. I thought you were going to pick Frozen. Yeah, Cosmic. It's clear cut, the better overall attraction. All right. Number 3, Soarin' versus number 2, Ratatouille. It's an interesting one, I think.
Soarin'.
You're going to pick Soarin'.
Yeah. I can pretty much watch everything of Soarin' except the end if I don't have my patch on. If I can't, like, really ride Ratatouille. I can ride it, but I just...
But what do you feel is the stronger attraction? Not which one potentially makes you sick or not, if you had to go that route. Like, I'm picking Ratatouille. Again, I know it's a copycat ride. I wish they'd updated some of the technology and screens, but I'm a huge Ratatouille fan. Love the movie. I think the ride is super fun.
All right, that's fine.
You're Ratatouille?
That's
okay.
fine.
Oh, I swayed. Look at that. All right, moving down into the Hollywood Studios Region Sweet 16. Number 1, Rise of Resistance versus number 5, Rockin' Roller Coaster, which only won on a technicality of a coin.
Fine.
What are you picking? No, what are you picking?
Rise.
Oh, yeah, me too. I'm going to pick Rise over. I mean, Rise still just blows me away every time.
Yeah, it is.
I really want to try and ride it tomorrow.
Okay.
Like, we're going to Hollywood Studios. It broke down last time. We were in the interrogation room. Got escorted out.
That was sad.
Didn't get to ride it that day when Lacey was there. All right, we're moving on to our number 3, Runaway Railway versus number 2, Slinky Dog Dash.
Slinky Dog.
I will agree with Slinky Dog Dash. I really, really do love Runaway Railway, but Slinky Dog Dash it's really, really fun.
It is.
I love that first launch and that little, it's not
fun.
a top hat, in all sense, but and it has that quick slowdown where you almost feels like you pause for a second and you can look down over all of Toy Story Land and beyond and see like Tower and all and hear the screams. Absolutely love it. All right, let's move on to Animal Kingdom with our number 1, Flight of Passage versus number 5, Festival of the Lion King.
Flight of Passage.
Yeah, agree. I mean, you want to talk technologies, that ride still blows my mind every single time.
Yep.
It's still the one and maybe only ride where I truly just forget that everything else exists while I'm riding it. Like, I don't know that any other ride yet. Well, Cosmic does that, actually. All right, number 3, Kilimanjaro Safari versus number 2, Expedition Everest. What are you selecting?
I'll say Everest.
Okay, I will pick. You don't have to sad about it. I will pick Everest as well.
Well, because again, you just said, like, if somebody's first time at Disney, where are you taking them? I would take them there instead of the safari. Just
agreed completely.
I mean, because depending on the time of year and stuff, you don't know how many animals you'll even see on the safari. So
I know. Yeah. All right, we are moving back up to the Elite 8. We're at Magic Kingdom, and we are taking number 4, Haunted Mansion versus number 6, Jungle Cruise.
Haunted.
You have shown nothing but disdain and hate towards Jungle Cruise
Haunted.
This entire time.
Haunted.
I agree with you, but why are you hating on Jungle Cruise so much lately?
Haunted.
Today? I agree. I will move on Haunted Mansion.
Okay.
But why the hate for Jungle Cruise?
I don't hate it.
It's hurting me in my soul.
You just love
slightly.
it, and I don't.
I do love it. I love it so much. If we actually stepped on it and Josh Gad was our skipper, do you think it would change your mind?
No.
Oh, my goodness.
I would just be like, yes, I got a great ride.
Wow. All right. Haunted Mansion
Still
is our
the same
winner
ride.
out of the Magic Kingdom region. It is going to move on to the final 4. We will see who it goes against. But next, we are our number 1 seed versus our number 2 seed matchup at Epcot. Cosmic Rewind versus Ratatouille. Cosmic. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
Okay, spoiler alert. Move on.
We didn't make the picks yet. We don't know. Somebody could come out of here with a complete upset because we've got number 1, Rise of Resistance versus another number 2 matchup in Slinky Dog Dash. What are you picking?
Still Rise.
I agree.
If it works completely and everything.
If it works, that is a very good point. If you can get, literally, if you get in there from beginning to end with no hiccups, which we've been very lucky enough to do plenty of times, we've also had hiccups. I do feel that it is hands down the best attraction in Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
So we're going to see what happens here. It moves on to our final four. It will pit itself against Cosmic Rewind. We are over with another 1-2 matchup. Flight of Passage at number 1 versus number 2, Expedition Everest.
I'd say Flight.
Okay, so we're doing the test. Person's first time ever there.
I'd still say
They can
Flight.
only do one. You're doing Flight of Passage. I agree.
Okay.
I will take Flight. And everybody knows, I love Everest so very much.
Yeah, you do.
I used to single rider it
Jungle
every
Cruise.
time we went. Two very different sides of a ride or attraction.
Doesn't matter. You still love them.
I do. I love both of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're outstanding. We're down to our final four.
Oh.
We are down to our David. Number 4, Haunted Mansion versus the Goliath of number 1, Flight of Passage. Haunted Mansion versus Flight of Passage. And how do you make this pick?
I'm going to say...
Do you base it on technology? Do you base it on a moment of thrill? Do you base it on nostalgia? Do you base it on music? Do you base it on... how do you select Haunted Mansion versus Flight of Passage? Two of the most polar opposites of attractions.
I'm going to say Flight. Sorry.
You're going to say Flight.
I was going to say Haunted, but then the more I got to thinking about it and everything, with the smells, Haunted is a great ride, don't get me wrong, but then Flight is more 3/4D.
Yeah.
And there, like you said, there's so much more to it.
I don't think you want to add smells to Haunted Mansion.
No. That'd be fun though. Could you imagine you go through and it's
dead people?
Yeah, or something. Something.
Ew.
What died in here?
Gross. That is a really tough one. Yeah, I don't want this to come to a coin flip. I don't think that's right. I honestly feel I just go back. Haunted Mansion won last time. The soundtrack is unbelievable. I do feel that if somebody said they can ride one or the other,
I'd take Haunted.
You take Haunted?
Yeah.
I think Haunted Mansion moves on.
Okay.
I think it beats Flight of Passage.
Sure.
If you want to give someone the true essence of Disney World and Walt Disney as a person, it's Haunted Mansion.
Okay.
And as much as they did such a wonderful job of fitting Pandora into Animal Kingdom and telling its story about conservation and all of that, it's Haunted Mansion in Magic Kingdom. Haunted Mansion moves on. Wow. Okay. Other side. This is quite the powerhouse matchup. This is like a Duke versus Kentucky or Duke versus Kansas or something. I'm just going to pick Duke versus anybody that also wears blue. Number 1, Cosmic Rewind versus number 1, Rise of the Resistance.
Cosmic Rewind.
How are you so quick to answer that, though? I'm going to agree, I think, but...
Rise of Resistance is great. But... And if it's all working... But there's so many, it's so broken up. There's so many broken up pieces.
That's what I think tells the story so incredibly.
Cosmic almost is broken up as much, but it's just quicker.
Yes, and here's the one fault of Rise of Resistance. It's going to take a big chunk of your day. Whether you were rope dropping for standby, whether you're purchasing an individual lightning lane, versus Cosmic, both ride time and taking advantage of possibly the virtual queue and not having to pay for it currently, or purchasing an individual lightning lane and getting through much quicker because the virtual queue can still back up a little bit. I think Rise is the overall better attraction. But if you ask me which one I want to ride right now, I'm going to pick Cosmic. So it wins and moves on.
Okay.
So here we are. Number 1, Cosmic Rewind out of the Epcot Regional versus the underdog, number 4, Haunted Mansion out of the Magic Kingdom Regional. We are in our championship. Cosmic Rewind, the new one, the new team, on the block.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't even been open a year yet. End of May, 1 year anniversary. Versus the classic Haunted Mansion, one of Walt's original type visions. Which do you think Walt would pick?
Haunted
What
Mansion.
would Walt do?
But I would say Cosmic.
You don't think if Walt? Can you imagine Walt riding Cosmic Rewind or Rise of Resistance or Flight of Passage? His head would explode. Don't you think?
I don't know. Maybe.
I think he would just be like, wow.
Maybe.
First of all, none of that's possible without him. So even though it's all these years later and, he's been gone for so long. So you're picking Cosmic?
I think so.
I have to agree. I hate to pick anything against Haunted Mansion. But again, I think you need to look at this day and age as well.
Mm-hmm.
I know that, and again, this is all opinion based. This is your and I's opinion.
Oh, 100%.
Somebody else can pick this entire bracket and People Mover could win the whole thing. I mean, it's all based on your personal preference.
Right.
But when you look at it, if you were, I think, to poll the average park goer right now, they're going to pick Cosmic over Haunted Mansion every time. You know what I mean? Especially when you look at, all right, what are people going to see in the marketing right now? If people don't know Disney well, they're going to be like, oh yeah, I've heard of that Haunted Mansion thing. What's this brand new shiny Cosmic Rewind thing? Tron.
Right.
Ooh, look at Rise of Resistance. So I think Cosmic is the winner.
Okay.
But I'm proud of you, Haunted Mansion. You came a long
Good
way.
job.
Don't cry. Keep it up. There'll be another one of these after Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
And that might win the whole
Which
thing.
most likely at that point could be the number one seed.
Never
the
know.
way that things look. So Cosmic Rewind, I can say this, if you look at our next dozen park reservations, 9 of them are at Epcot.
Yep.
So that we have a chance at riding Cosmic Rewind in the virtual queue.
So there you go.
So I think that shows our pick.
Yep.
We would love, obviously, as with every episode, especially these types, we would love your feedback.
Yeah.
I will be happy to post this bracket across social. I actually do have a fillable PDF, so you can fill out the PDF online. You can save it. You can share it. Let us know who your winner is. I really would be interested to get into people's Elite 8 and see where those show up, especially when people put Haunted Mansion against Jungle Cruise. How many people do you think are picking Haunted Mansion over Tron, which we made that pick?
Maybe not many. I don't know. Maybe a lot of people haven't ridden it yet.
Let's touch back, though, at the end of April. If we can, let's put a pin in it.
Okay.
And then let's come back at the end of April after we've ridden Tron, hopefully a few more times, and say if we think that we would make that same pick again.
Okay.
Right? Thank you all so much for listening. We truly appreciate it. Next episode on Tuesday is going to be our review of the brand new Roundup Rodeo Barbecue in Toy Story Land at Disney's Hollywood Studio. And then Friday will be a Bars and Lounges Top 32 Bracket Challenge with a friend, a special guest who will be the tiebreaker.
No
we
coin?
shall nickname them Coin. That's how we'll introduce them, as the Coin.
Okay.
So make sure you join us for that. If you want to get those brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday, get that little alert on your phone from whatever podcatcher you use. Go ahead and hit subscribe. You can check out all of the live happenings in our special private Facebook group, Wonderland Crew, at wonderlandcrew.com. And finally, we'd be so very thankful if you would leave us a rating and review.
Because it'll help our show grow.
That's all we've got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.